hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. And yes, we do talk before we start, so sometimes you hear us talking. It's okay. But I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Purr. And I do enjoy having a cup mug here. I mean, it's the cup mug of the deceased, so I will be bringing it with me everywhere. So I'm sorry if you don't like it, Ria. I understand if you're upset about it, but I will be bringing the cup mug of the deceased because I love my cup mug. And you can get your cup mug at LanaGCreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. And if you look to the right of the screen, there is a QR code. You can scan it, it'll take you right to the shop, and then you can get your merch, do all the things, buy it, support it, send me a message saying you did it, and show us a picture that you got it. Love it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rianne, but you can call me Ri. And yeah, I just got some boring water, but it will do.
It it will do. Absolutely. Oh, we are here. We are back. We are talking Survivor Australia. We're talking episode 9, the last of this week, which is what a week. Oh my gosh. It's been a week.
Yeah,
Um, and we're going to talk all about it. But before we do, we would appreciate if you would subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. We are giving you all things reality, competitive reality television, as much as we can fit into a show. We are in time. We are giving it to you. We are talking Australia Survivor. We're talking Survivor 50. We're talking House of Villains. We're talking Fear Factor, House of Fear. We're talking all shows that even shows we don't cover here on the channel give full recaps. We're talking about those shows in our reality roundup highlight week, where we give you all the highlights of all the shows, all the competitive reality shows on TV. We talk about it and we will give you all the highlights of said shows on every Sunday. So check us out every Sunday. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video every time we drop one. Because trust me, we are dropping a lot of videos. It's like videos every single day. We go live after Survivor 50 every week. So you will see us tonight going live after Survivor 50. So you don't want to miss it. Check it out. We got lots of content, and we're still doing our Project Runway Refilled. It is coming back. We are getting it together. We are working on it. So continue to support and follow and do all the things. Support us on all of our other channels on here under the Cup Network. All the channels and all the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon. Um, and all of our socials at the Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. That's going right down there. And you can follow me and read if you'd like. And yeah, do all the things. And we appreciate you very, very much. Let's get into this recap because, man, what a show this was. This was very interesting.
yeah.
And it starts right when we get back from the last tribal council. And man, oh man. Everybody's like, Tess is like, who voted for me? And sorry, Tess, you can't get that answer because the person who voted for you is voted out of the show because it was Lindo. But
He's not the only one who asks about
no,
them.
because Caleb wants to know too.
Yeah, yeah.
And Caleb gets an answer. I mean, here and okay. This is going to be, let me preference this by saying this, you guys. We here at the Cup, we love Tess. We're fans of Tess. We had Tess here before. Love Tess. We hope to have Tess back again. This Tess did not do themselves any favors in this episode. And in this moment where he was like, yes, Caleb, I voted for you because they told me to, and people were like changing plans at the last minute. It was a lot of acting very clueless to what was going on and even in his confessional he was like, I know what I did, I know what they wanted me to do, but I'm not a follower. I'm going to make my own path, which I like. Great, that's cool. Do you play the game? But I don't know if the execution of the plans went as well as they wanted it to go. So I was kind of like,
Not really.
didn't do themselves any favors in these moments and throughout this episode with this, and we'll talk about it. But it was just like, okay,
Yeah.
acting clueless is one thing. That's but acting too clueless only makes people doubt you more and more and more to the point of, do we really need them? When you're so good at being clueless, people start to wonder if you're clueless enough where you become useless.
Yeah. Don't do it too well because people might
Right.
believe you.
One vote, you could do that. Two votes, it starts to get a little okay. Three votes is like, okay, baby, we don't. Why are we doing? It's a interesting dynamic. But even when Tez was saying all of that and was like, I don't know, I didn't know what was going on, blah 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 blah. You could see the faces of like the women on this tribe. They were looking like,
Uh,
and then he was like, and Mark, sorry, he's like throwing names out. Was like, and this person told me this, and this person, and everybody's like, hello. You throwing our names out there. You putting our game on the right. Hello. What are you? It was a lot. It was a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. I got this flashback of with Brain First From when Miles was trying to chat it up with the new tribe,
Yeah.
the Ocean Bronze, and was spilling way too much.
Way too much tea.
Yeah,
Way too much tea. Yeah.
that immediately that mental image, and then Zara pulling Miles aside, like, don't spill like that. These people aren't your friends. Like, you gotta look out for us. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
definitely gave. I could see that flashback, and it definitely gave that. It was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, all right. Um, but you could see it on everybody's faces that they were starting to get really frustrated and annoyed with Chaz in that moment. But new day, new stuff. Try to figure something out with the game because the game is very fast and very fluid. So we'll see what happens. Um, we go to the next day, and Chaz is already starting to feel like the people are just not talking to him, and he's sitting there, and people are talking around him, but never to him. And he's seeing people walking off and doing, having their discussions, and he's just like,
Hmm.
um, anybody? I was like, oh no, oh
Uh,
no, oh no. And then they did something that made me go, oh God, no. Two times in two episodes, we get a voiceover where Tess is like, I'm so used to being overlooked. I'm the youngest in my family, and I've always been overlooked, and blah blah blah. And I was like,
uh,
oh no. I said, this is the episode, isn't it? This is the episode, isn't it? Because two episodes in a row, we getting these deep confessionals with the music behind it and everything, and I'm like, uh,
oh
oh.
no.
I was like, no, not this. We are, oh God. And I mean, we got the sad music and the slow motions of Ted just throwing stuff in the fire. We got the fire. I was like,
Oh, this is
oh,
so bad.
oh, this is the beginning of the end, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh, I prepared myself very much early in this episode. Was like, this is gonna be the one. This is the
yeah.
episode. I don't know how we gonna get there, but this is the episode. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
It was so
And
bad.
yeah, and it reminded me a lot of Miles. So I would like. I think they did their best to make it look like a fake out. Like we're not doing the same. We're doing the same thing as with Miles. but no, it was a fake out.
Because see, even when Miles was at his point where I'm like, "Oh, is this his time?" You always had this feeling of, nah, he gonna do something because he always has an idol. He always had
Yeah.
two idols. Like Taz wasn't having the same arc, and I was like, oh no, he don't have an idol. Now my hope was that he would feel this way, and then he would start looking for one, and then he would find one,
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, maybe he can find an idol, and it'd be good because there is an idol out there, because like Linda went home with one, even though nobody
Yeah.
know she had it.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
it's out there. If he just go look for something, maybe he'll come across it. But I was just waiting. I'm like, I'm hoping. But he didn't go look for anything. So I'm like, okay. But I don't know. I just was so like, this is starting to become very
Mm.
mm, I don't
No,
know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
no. I
And,
think they need immunity or a twist or anything
right.
like this.
But then we already knew that everybody was going to tribal because of the preview. So we like, everybody's going to tribal. So he's not going to avoid tribal. So what is going to happen here? Because either something happens and they're safe and he's safe, or this is gonna be it, right? Because we get two confessional voiceovers and slow music this time, and I was like, oh no, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm nervous. And Australian Survivor, I'm figuring y'all out. I peeped your editing style. I peep your game. I know what y'all doing. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling good in this moment. But
No,
seeing everybody, especially seeing everybody talking, like going off to talk without them, I was like, oh, I don't feel good about this, Tess. I don't feel good.
no.
Um, but then let's go over to the Baron tribe real quick, because they got a lot of stuff cooking up over there. Um, some people are feeling very comfortable in the positions that they're in right now, i.e., Aisha,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she's feeling really good. She's like, her and Blanche are talking, and Blanche is like, she's like, we got to get our book plan. The book plan has to go on. And she's like, yeah. Blanche is all in. She's like, absolutely. Let's do this. And Aisha's talking to Lottie. Lottie's like, this is that's good. And, everybody's good with the plan. And then Jackson is like, why do I get told plans and nobody's including me
yeah,
in plans? Like, I don't make plans. I get told what the plan is. I don't like that. So then Jackson goes to Simon, and Simon says the same thing. Like, he was like, are you cool with the plan? He was like, yeah, they told me what it was. I guess that's what it is. And Simon was like, but I don't necessarily like being told what the plan is and not being a part of the plan. It's interesting to me. I don't really like that. And so
yeah,
then this just starts this ball rolling with Jackson and Simon. And they're like, we can get Lottie a part of this because Lottie's not part of their plan. Not Lottie, Laz. Laz,
yeah,
Laz, a
lost.
part of their plan, because Laz is not part of their plan. That's cool. And then we pick up Brooke and Ben because they're the outskirts and they really want them out. We can make an alliance with
Yeah,
this. And I'm like,
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
actually, yeah, that could work. And then they were like, and we could take out Ash. And I was like, oh, wait, hold on, hold on. Whoa, time
uh,
out, time out, time out, hold on. Ash, they're like, Ash could go. And I was like, whoa, 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 hold
oh.
on. Ash is my girl right now, and I really like her. Like, hold on. You
Not
said,
on both tribes.
right, on both tribes. I'm like, hold both tribes. I'm like, wait. Y'all picking at the people who hold on. let's let's calm down, back it up. Lottie's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, Blanche is there. Like, like, even though I like Blanche, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
do like Blanche, and I do like Lottie, but I'm like, but I really like Ash, and I'm like, not
Yeah.
necessarily us. I don't really want that. But I get it. I understand it because she is feeling very, very comfortable
Yeah.
about her position in this game because she feels like she is running this with her and Lottie are running this. And it's the point they were. And more so I feel like more so Lottie, but I feel like Lottie has taken a back seat to make Ash look like the head when it's
Yeah.
really Lottie, which is very smart,
Yeah.
Lottie. Very, very smart on your game. And so I'm kind of just like, ooh, I like the
Yeah.
plan. I love what they're doing. I like that they wanted to flip the power structures on the tribe. Makes a lot of sense to me. But I don't like it for Ash. And I don't like them going after Ash. So I really wish they would switch targets. But I understand if they do go for Ash.
Yeah. And I don't know. And to make it worse, the other side of that tribe also has a target.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Brooke. They want Brooke. But I don't necessarily want Brooke to go either. So I'm kind of like, uh, it's just crazy. It's just really crazy. But this alliance forms and they form and then they even come up with a name, Beauty and the Beast.
yeah.
Which I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And Loz is like, I'm not a beauty. And they're like, absolutely you are. Look at
Yeah,
you,
you are.
gorgeous. You are, girl. And I was like, yes, you are, girl. You
Yeah,
are
you are.
gorgeous. Don't do
Yeah.
that to yourself. You are a beauty.
Yeah.
But it was it was something so fun,
Yeah.
heartbreaking, but intriguing all at the same time about this whole look
Yeah.
because I'm like, yes, I love a game where the power structure shifts back and forth. I love when people are feeling very comfortable and then they come up and but I hate that it's Ash because I love her. So that's heartbreaking. And but I do like the beauty of this. I
Yeah.
do enjoy the game and the gameplay of this. So it all made sense to me. I can put aside my feelings for people in the
Yeah.
game that I like to be like, but yeah, you are playing a little too comfortable, which you shouldn't. Nobody should ever play this comfortable in the game of Survivor. I don't understand how, but because maybe because I've never been out there, but
Yeah.
I just don't understand people who watch this game ever feels comfortable or get to a point where they feel comfortable. I feel like, yes, I do know what's happening, but I'm never gonna be like running this. Like never will
Yeah.
I be admit to running a game until the very end of the game. Like I saved that kind of talk for final tribal
Yeah.
when you able to talk your ish and
Yeah.
like let folks know, yes, I was running this game from beginning to end. I had my finger in every piece of pie on this island,
Yeah.
and I knew exactly what was going on. It was my move who did this. You save that for final tribal talk, but when you're in the game you should always feel a twinge of
Yeah.
uncomfortability.
Yeah. And it's classic, well, Survivor period, but especially Australian survivors, like the number one rule. If I guess if in confessional the producer wants you to say stuff like, "Oh, I am on top of this tribe," you gotta be very careful because it can go south just like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I am that person like save your ish talking for confessionals. Talk all your mess and smack in confessionals, but never show it in front of everybody. But even that, you're right. Sometimes I don't even feel like maybe you should even say something certain things in confessionals because it can
Yeah,
always come back and bite you in the butt, and then they play you for a fool. Like see you talking about some, oh, I'm the top of the game, and it's I'm at the top, and then all of a sudden they see your downfall. You be like,
yeah. Unless you're Mark. Mark apparently gets away with episode after episode after episode of the same
it's
stuff.
the same thing. It's crazy. It is wild. Um, but let's go to this immunity challenge because I think that's what we are. Are we at the immunity challenge? Or is there some more? Because there was a lot of talking before this immunity challenge, since there was no
No,
reward.
no, I think the only thing I can add is like there was a pretty nice montage. No, that's Dutch. A clip of videos where shots where Jackson obviously he leaves from talking to Simon about his move, and then you
Mm-hmm.
see him approach Ben like, "Hey, we can do this. We're throwing
Mm-hmm.
you a bone." Then we see him also approach Los or vice versa, and Los was like, "Yeah, we can do this. It would be so unexpected."
Yeah.
And then finally, Brooke, who is like, "Yeah, yeah, if you just get everyone on board, I'm totally in for it."
Right.
Yeah, I like
Just
that.
seeing that plan
Yeah,
come together was fun to watch. I
yeah,
do. I did appreciate that. Like I said, I love a good power structure shift, even if it's against some people I like. But I love seeing the power structure shift and seeing that plan come together and they
yeah,
fully aligned. It was like, mm, okay, that's tea. That's tea.
yeah,
I can enjoy that. I can appreciate that. But going
yeah.
to the immunity challenge, man, and man. So
Which
we already know that both teams are going to go to tribal. So it was going to be individual immunity and not team immunity this time.
yeah,
And we just had to find out how this was going to happen. And what they did was they paired each person off into teams of from the opposite tribes, and they were going to
yeah,
have to hold on to a pole
yeah.
or a bar
It's-
above their heads. And there's a ball in there, and if it comes down a little, it can fall out of the hole that's in the thing. And if you falls, you're out. So there was a rock draw because Baron Tribe has two extra people. So two people were not going to get a chance at immunity at all. Which I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mm,
I don't know if I
mm,
like that. I'm like, why don't you just let the two people who get the Black Rocks just be there together? They should still be having a shot at immunity. I get they're on the same tribe, but
yeah.
why can't they just hold it up themselves? Like, it's still a two-person. Like, I
Yeah.
can see if it was three people would need it for the challenge, but it's a two-person challenge. So the two people, they just
Yeah. They just lose.
right.
And yeah, that was my first thought too. Just put them on another bar thing.
Right,
Uh,
give them another. Y'all could have
yeah.
made another bar thing.
Yeah. Like they would be like, yeah, yeah. Then would have to like have the second person coming, the team coming in second, because otherwise then no one on one tribe has immunity or something.
Right.
Yeah, so
I mean,
maybe they,
it's because
yeah,
even if it didn't matter what they did, only two people were going to win it.
uh,
So even if it was two people from the same tribe, and
yeah, yeah. In that way, that's yeah easy enough. Just win
it's
it.
like I
Yeah,
don't like it doesn't, and I get that just I was just like this just bothers me because honestly, if two people from the same tribe won it. Let's
yeah,
say the two people who happen to be Asha and
yeah,
Lottie. They were the
yeah,
ones who got the Black Rock. So let's say they both won it. Okay, then Asha and Lottie would be safe, and
yeah.
then the other tribe would not have anybody. I think that would have made it a lot more interesting. But if we gonna be honest, Asha and Lottie wouldn't have won that. If we gonna be honest,
Yeah,
Asha and Lonnie would not have won that challenge. So it wouldn't. It probably still would have had the same result that happened.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking of them just have them go on after do another round of that or something for a pair of Baron and Bounty or something like after Lolly and Asha win the immunity, something like that. But yeah, they didn't want four people to win immunity.
It should have just been the same thing. Like they could have just let the two people who didn't from Bear and just they two of y'all go be together. So it's a
Yeah,
possibility that two people on Baron could win immunity and
yeah,
nobody from from
um,
Bounty would win. So and I
yeah,
think honestly, I think that would have made it a whole lot more interesting if Bounty would have had no winners. I mean, everybody was up for, like,
Yeah.
everybody, even playing field. You just go to tribal like normal,
Yeah.
if that's the case. Or, you just go to tribal and, just no, I don't know. I thought that would have been better, but that's not what they did. So Asha
Mm,
and Lottie had to sit out. So they had
yeah.
no chance of getting immunity. But the pairings were Tez and Blanche,
Yeah.
Simon and Faith,
Yeah.
Brooke and Rich, Caleb and Laz,
Plus, yeah.
Sally and
And
Jack,
Cam.
yeah, Ben, Sally and Ben, Jackson
Yeah.
and Mark,
Yeah. And then
and who am I missing?
and Keely and Ben.
Keely,
Wrote
yeah,
out.
Keely
I
and
wrote.
Cameron.
Yeah, I wrote. I wrote a reverse with Cameron, with Sally, and Ben with Keely. But these were those. Yeah, they were also paired with Sally and yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter
it
much.
doesn't really matter
Or,
much because it came down to Simon and Faith and Brooke
yeah,
and Rich.
yeah,
That's the most important thing because everybody else, once Mark and Jackson went out, it was like a domino effect. Bloop,
yeah,
bloop, 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 bloop. Everybody
yeah,
was falling out. And it came down to Simon and Faith and Mark and Brooke. I mean, Mark and Simon and Brooke and Rich.
yeah,
And Mark was begging Simon to let him have it. He was like, let me have it. Let me have it. Brooke was
yeah,
like, he was like, please, please, please let me have it. And
yeah,
Simon was like, and Faith was looking at Simon with daggers in her. I was like, you better not.
yeah.
No, no,
Oh,
don't you dare. And Simon was like,
yeah.
does he need it? She was like, he does not need it. Don't you dare. And he's like,
uh, and not
Marcus like, please, 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 please. And Simon's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Ricky. Yeah, yeah,
And
and then Mark also was like, no, don't, no, don't drop.
don't drop me. Like, no.
Simon got it from two different directions.
Right. It was the craziest thing. But eventually,
Yeah,
Simon and Faith win that immunity challenge. It was like, good on them because
yeah,
honestly, whatever. Because nothing really matters in the end of this. But yeah, that happens. And it's like, okay. So they get their immunity, their individual immunity, and they're all going to be a tribal. Everybody's going to get there together. Here, at first, I thought it was going to be a double elimination. I'm like, ooh, two people's gonna go home. Ooh,
oh yeah.
yeah,
See,
no,
no,
no, no, no. It's
no,
just everybody's coming to tribal, but one person's going home. And
yeah,
I was like,
okay.
wait. I was like, wait,
They have
wait.
to another twist to it.
Ugh,
Oh,
unnecessary twist, but okay, sure, great. Her, fine. Um, So now we have to try to figure out what this twist is. Everybody has to go to camp and figure out how we vote to get the results that we want. Because if it's a group vote and everybody's
yeah,
voting one person out, how do we vote? So we go back to Baron and we see Ash. Well, we go back to Baron and everybody's like, did anybody get some good gossip? Did we get some good gossip? And Simon Jackson's like, yeah, I got some. Simon said, wait, hold on, man.
yeah.
Hold on, Jackson. Let's go chit chat before
Yeah.
we talk about this.
Uh,
Let's go talk before we spill all this tea. Let's go talk. And so now Ash is like, what? And Lottie's like,
yeah.
huh?
No,
Why? That's strange. That's suspicious. Like, what do you?
Yeah,
Simon, what are we doing here? So I was like, oh, Simon. Oh, Simon. Oh, that was not smart.
um,
That wasn't. You should have had that conversation with Jackson before y'all. Like, let's make sure we talk before we spill tea.
yeah,
Like you had that conversation beforehand, and
yeah,
not in front of the group and calling him out. Like, wait, hold on, let's talk about this first before we talk to them about it. Like, that looks very suspicious and
yeah.
strange.
Oh,
And Asha and Lonnie picked up on that right away. They called eyes like, "Did you see that? Did you
yeah.
see that?" And I was
Why?
like,
Yeah, because why do they, from Asha and Lottie's perspective, why does Simon need to pull Jackson aside like that right away?
before Jackson spills the tea
Yeah,
that we all
exactly.
want to know about.
Yeah, like yeah, it's poorly planned. I'm so sorry. I love Simon, but
I do
oh,
too, but it's so badly planned. It was the wrong time to do that.
yeah,
And even after he goes and talks to Jackson, and they, get the information that he wanted to get, he doesn't even have a good cover story for
no,
why he did what he did. Because when Ash and Lottie asked him about it, his stumbling story was even more suspicious. And he was like, I mean, I didn't want I didn't want information that, he came and it was, we didn't want to tell anybody who,
yeah.
we just did. And that was why. And I was like, what are you
Okay.
saying?
And yeah, it took him way too long to get to a point.
Did he ever get there though?
He did say something like, they told me they would protect Rich for us if I would give them someone from OG Bounty, Blanche. And it just goes absolutely off the rails at that point.
Off the rails. I was like, that point. I think his point, he tried to land it and it just went right back up in the air. Because I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would they want you to give up Blanche
Like,
for Rich?
yeah, like, would they have said Ben or Brooke? Yeah. It's
It's
uh,
It just did not make sense. It just did not make sense. And neither Ash nor Lottie was buying it. And Lottie was like, no, we don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm not doing that. So I'm like,
yeah,
period.
yeah,
Um, Lottie's like, I'm trying very hard with Simon because Simon is supposed to be our ride or die. But it's getting very hard to do that when he's withholding information from the person he claims to be a ride or die. So
yeah,
it's very weird. It's very suspicious. And so
yeah,
now he got them looking at him side eyed. But
yeah,
they come up with this idea because they were like, listen. I mean, and even during this challenge, we saw Lottie and Ash talking to
yeah,
Tez. Was like, listen, vote with us. If it's a group vote, you vote with us and we'll make sure you stay and all this stuff. And he's like, yes. Because no surprise to anybody. Tez is ready to flip, floppity flop on this tribe because he does
yeah,
not feel wanted in this tribe. He's very like ready to move on. And he's like, if I make we know if Tez makes it to merge, he's like, I make it to merge, swoop, I'm over, I'm out, I'm
yeah,
done. And I think everybody should expect that with the way
yeah,
that they have been talking to Tez and treating him on their camp. So
yeah,
that was something interesting, and that's why let's go back to Bounty Beach. That's why the conversations over there just seem very much still like we're talking to everyone but him.
yeah,
And they know that, and they know he has to be the name. He
yeah,
has to be the name for them, and he'd have to figure out how to do that because now they're like, we Mark is trying to protect Rich now because he made a deal that if he protects Rich, they'll protect Brooke,
yeah,
and that whole situation. Um, but it's just
yeah,
it's just very obvious at this point what they're doing with Tez.
yeah. Like they try to. I think Mark tries to do something like, "Hey, you should just write down Richard's name." I do think Caleb says something like that, and also gives
Hmm.
him like a little bit of advice. Gives him
Hmm.
advice, but that's all Tess gets
I
at
mean,
all.
and honestly, it was very sad. It was
Yeah,
very sad watching him trying to find a footing
yeah,
in the game and trying to find a foothold with these people, but they were giving him absolutely nothing. They
yeah,
were giving him nothing. It was just like, no, I mean, Rich
yeah.
is the name you should write down, and you should, try to convince people that Rich is the right way to go. And he's like, okay, I'm
Okay.
trying, I'm convincing, I'm telling people what's the point of, and I really, I feel like Tez did a whole lot more talking than they showed. And look, and I'm
Yeah,
just gonna go, and I'm gonna ask Tez myself. I'm gonna send Tez a DM or a Twitter or something because we friends like that. So I'm gonna ask him myself and be like, how much talking did you actually do? How did you? Because like I don't think Tez went out like that. I don't think Tez would ever go out of a game like that and would just sit there and let people just talk around them and never get involved. And it made it look like they were just talking around them and he never had anything to say. And then when he did say it, it was kind of like,
yeah.
I, I
The whole-
guess.
yeah,
But
I-
look, Tez, when you can come back on the show, because I know you're watching,
yeah,
when you can come back on the show, you come back on and you tell me, you talk to us, because
yeah,
we fam, we
yeah.
know. I want you to tell us
Ooh,
everything because I know you, and I
yeah.
know you did not go like let that happen around you, and you didn't say anything. Like I don't believe that for a
No.
second. I don't believe that for a second. So. You let us
Uh,
know. Hit me up
yeah.
in my DMs. Hit me up, Tez. Let me know. Cause it was weird watching that.
Very weird. And it felt one of those super old school survivor stuff when they pick someone who is going to go home, and then every single bad or awkward moment within those 3 days that they can find of this person, they put in the edits
Yep.
to justify them going home.
It was the edit itself. Let me get on the editors real quick. Let me get on y'all. Editors, come to the front of the room. Let me holler at you for a second. Um, this weird edit that y'all just gave us in this episode, don't ever do that again. Because that was the weirdest thing that we've seen. These last two episodes, I've been a little
Yeah, what is
about this
that?
edit.
Yeah, and it's like you understand that they want to keep a little bit of anticipation and the idea that anyone can go, or at least half the tribe can go. But I understand that. We all understand that. But
Mhm.
there is a. This start to get into territory of dunking on the person that is get booted.
Yeah, and it's like nobody wants to see that because even
Yeah,
if we know that this might be the outcome, we don't want to see it look like a woe is me outcome. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I
yeah,
want to see people fighting for their,
yeah,
on their way out. We don't, and I know there was a fight on their way out. I know that. I know that. But
yeah.
okay,
It was sad.
it was very crazy. But
Yeah.
let's. This I have a huge problem with all of it. But Yeah.
and yeah,
But let's get it.
um,
Let's get to tribal.
oh yeah, I
Let's
think
get.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if anything else happens. No, I think it's just a lot of talking back and forth,
Yeah,
and
it was just
yeah,
nonsense and foolishness and the same. You should talk to this person and you should talk to this person when it wasn't gonna change any outcome of anything. But maybe it might
maybe
not change the outcome of anything. Maybe because we don't really know what's gonna happen at this tribal.
no.
So we get to tribal, and everybody's there, full house. It's like, yay! Look at all these people. Great, sure. Everybody's there. I will say, I do think David is starting to get a little bit more comfortable with these tribals and with these games, and he's starting to give me what I want from him as a host
Yeah,
because you're David, you're the golden god. You played this game, you've won this game. You had a whole aura about you before,
yeah,
and I want the same type of aura from the golden god in as a host. I want to see the golden god host this show. And I think
yeah,
we're starting to get that a little bit. Like he's starting to be a little bit more like David.
yeah,
And it's interacting with people. Like you know these people. You run in the circles with these people, some of these
yeah,
people. So you should be able to feel a little more like you could talk a little
yeah,
smack with some of these people and y'all can go back and forth. You could do a little thing and it could be more personal as which is something that JOP couldn't do because he didn't play the game, but you can do because you
yeah,
played the game. You know exactly what they're feeling. You know how they feel being
yeah,
on the island with nothing and how that feels and coming into a tribal feeling a little defeated, feeling a little on top of the world. You know, like you know how that
yeah,
feels. And so I
yeah,
wanted to see him do that and I think he's starting to now. We're in
yeah,
episode 9 and I think he's starting to get his groove. So
yeah,
I will give David credit and commend him for that and say I'm starting to enjoy seeing more of the Golden God persona come out in his
yeah,
hosting because like he was talking to Simon and Simon was talking about how he, you know, is they stopped trying to predict things that's gonna happen because the Survivor guys just spank him all the time, and he was like, "My butt is a little bit raw right now, so I don't want to keep getting spanked." And Dave was like, "Oh, Survivor Daddy," and then I was like, "Period." I loved it.
yeah.
I loved it, and
I love that.
I loved it so much, and I think he's starting to become more comfortable. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. This is what I wanted to see from David. I want him to be that golden god, arrogant type of, cocky attitude
yeah,
type of guy because that's who he perceived gave us on
yeah,
TV, and that's who we want to see as the host. He can still do the host thing, the right proper host thing to do when it comes down to like some ceremonial things. But when you're in the element of just banter back and forth, when you're in the middle of challenges and you just like his little thing, like you give it up now. That's not how we do things here on Survivor. Like I want to
yeah.
see that. So
That,
I will say I will give David credit. He is actually doing that. I appreciate that.
yeah. And I see it especially when he talks to Brooke, who he
Hmm.
obviously played with on All Stars. Like the first thing he asked is Brooke, like, "Hey, you did this on All Stars with the double tribal council, everyone voting one person out. What was it like?" And she gives a really sad story because she was on the bottom. But yeah,
Yeah,
but it is that kind of thing, and I want to see him do more banter. And JLP did this too sometimes,
yeah,
mostly in the challenges, but
yeah.
he did that too. So it's not like it's inappropriate or anything.
No. And I think it's even more appropriate with David because he knows
Yeah,
these people and he's
yeah,
been in that world and that he's gonna always be in that world, even if as host. After
yeah,
each season, he's going to know these people. He's going to be in that circle of people. So some of these people might come back again for a
yeah.
redemption episode or something else of all stars or second chances. So
Yeah. He
I
keeps
think I think
he
the
keeps
more he keeps
working.
Yeah, I think the more he continues to do it, the more comfortable and more we'll more get more golden god situations. But yeah, this is so then we find out how this is going to work. And I just have to say, when I found out how this was going to work, how this trial was going to work, I was a little upset and let down and upset and mad. And I was
Mm.
like, fire making.
Yeah.
It all comes down to which tribe is completely safe and which tribe stays due to fire making.
Yeah.
I would have rather everybody vote for one person. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I think initially it looked kind of interesting because you could do think, things like do you want someone who's good at it on fire or someone who isn't?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it kind of one person wins and half the cast is immediately immune. And unfortunately, because of the results, there is a risk that some people just won't have the chance to really defend themselves once that fire making challenge is on off over.
It's just it was a lot of just like I was like, we couldn't just have a vote
Yeah,
where everybody just votes. And I think it would have been so much more like strategy to see
yeah,
how everybody votes for two tribes. How do you vote and still get what you want from two? Like it would have been so much more interesting if they
yeah,
would have done that.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's also this is a unique situation where all but two people in the entire cast are not safe. So like it could have been interesting to see like what happens when next to no one is safe
hmm
and everyone is now open to be taken out, at least on
right.
paper.
At
Yeah,
least on paper. It would have been interesting. But no, we didn't do that. We did a fire making challenge. And
yeah,
so now we have to go through this conversation of who's going to make the fire? Are we going to throw it? Who's going to do it? Do we throw it to make sure that the person we want is out, or do we not throw it to save ourselves? Blah, blah, blah. But
yeah,
it all came down to Mark and Simon. They are going to do the fire making challenge because they are apparently the best at it between the two tribes. Great.
yeah,
Great. Shocker. The two returnees are better at making fire. I'm
yeah,
shocked. Jackson was in
exactly.
the running, but they were
Yeah,
like, no.
yeah,
Asha was saying she didn't want Simon, and they were like, well, since she doesn't want Simon, we should definitely do Simon. And I was like,
yeah. Oh no, yeah, that was a
okay.
really good opportunity to see like who wants to vote somebody out and who doesn't, who thinks
Mhm.
they're in trouble and who isn't, who doesn't.
Because I think both teams wanted to stay and vote someone out,
Yeah,
but that's not possible because they make this fire making challenge. So they end up letting Simon and Mark do it with both of the knowledge that they might be trying to throw it. Each of them should be trying to throw it at this point. Now, how that's gonna work out with two people trying to throw a challenge, we don't know.
yeah,
But fire starts, and Simon asked before, like, "Hey, can I give this necklace to somebody?" And Dave was like, "I mean, the
yeah,
rules are the rules for the idol." And so he's like, "Oh, okay, okay." And so he's like considering giving it to someone, but then Faith
yeah,
is like, "You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that." But what if
yeah,
you don't need it? Because you and so Cameron is like, "Bro, you don't need it. Give it to Rich. You don't need it." And you're like, "You don't need to do that. You don't need to do
yeah.
that." And they're like,
Oh,
why? And so Kim was like, why you listening to what she's saying you don't need? Because
yeah,
what if they lie to you? And so Brooke was like, but what
yeah,
if you do need it? So Simon was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna
yeah,
keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do my fight. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna keep it. So he keeps it. So we like, okay, end of discussion. That's it,
yeah,
right? Done. Let's go make fire. They make fire, and they both have a good flame going at one point. And fire just fluid flaming everywhere.
yeah,
I mean, they doing it real big, and this nothing's happening. Like the fire is licking the ropes, and neither one of their flags is dropping. All of a sudden, Mark, his flame is going, and Simon's flame is going, and Simon's flame says, "Choop!" Flag go
yeah,
up. Simon wins the fire making challenge. Meaning Baron is all safe, and they head back to camp. No votes. Everybody get out of here. Everybody's like, "Yay!" Sort of. Because some
sort of.
people are not happy, but then they're
Uh,
like, "Well, we can't say we're not happy." It's like, "Yay,
yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
we're going back to camp. Yay, good, great, positive
Oh,
thoughts,
amazing.
amazing. We're so happy, so great,
Yeah. I do
so
want
great."
to. Can I say one thing about
Yes,
that? I love that Lolly immediately goes to whisper, like, okay, Simon's supposed to throw that. I don't trust him as much anymore.
she tells Rich Simon's supposed to do this, so he doesn't. It's
Yeah.
on him. Just put that out there. Just put that out there that he was supposed to throw this, and if he doesn't, it's on him.
Yeah. Yeah. The steer in the pots.
But as they are about to leave,
Yeah.
this is where I get a little annoyed and confused and frustrated with
Mm,
this. Because he already said, I'm going to keep it for myself.
yeah.
I feel like that should have did it the whole thing. At that point, it's locked. You keeping it, it's done. But then he gets up and say, so I can give this away, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you just said you was keeping it. And it was locked. But they were like, the rules are the rules. But I'm like, what are the rules? Because I don't know what Australian
Yeah.
Survivor producers. Now it's time for you to come to the front of the stage because honestly, y'all sketchy with these rules about these idols this season has been a little bit annoying because we
Yeah.
had an idol gate with Brooke. We didn't know that she had to use the idol if she couldn't use the idol. Then we find out that Linda's idol was taken away, but y'all didn't act like it was taken away before. Like she still had it. Y'all made it look like she still had it, but she didn't. And now we got this whole situation where he said he go keep the idol for himself, but then decide after he wins fire making that no, he don't need it because he's safe and the whole tribe is safe and they're gonna go to camp. Now he can give it away.
Yeah.
Hello?
Don't wait until a situation pops up before you explain it. That it's a.
This was this was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life because I'm like, I'm very confused.
I just. Yeah. I don't like that it. I mostly. Yeah. I was confused, but I mostly just didn't like that they. Yeah, they had it with like giving idol away at some point in a different season. Like, why can't they just bring that up sooner instead of only when someone actually does it? Because it looks like people are making an exception for entertainment.
They're making exceptions for certain people.
Yeah,
And I don't want to sit here and say that, but that's what it looks like. It's like you're making exceptions for certain people and the people who you want to get rid of because they don't fit your narrative, you're okay with them going. But if the people who
yeah,
you want to stay, you make exceptions for, like,
no,
it doesn't make sense. And it's not a good look for you. And it's not
it's-
cute for us to watch.
no.
I
It
didn't
had
like that.
no, like I did like there was a bit of a shock factor. So in the moment I was like, okay, cool, he's safe. But I don't, yeah, like it just gets so messy when
It does.
they like, especially with the idol also happening. Like,
And here's the thing, and I'm gonna be so well, I'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, so he says he's going to give the idol. And so um Faith again is like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do. I'm like, girl, what does it go bother you if he does it or not? You don't have to worry about it because you was gonna do what you was gonna do anyway. Who did you think he was gonna give it to?
yeah,
Who else other than Rich did you think he was going to give it to? I don't understand.
yeah,
Oh, I don't want to bypass this moment either. I'm gonna come back to this. Let me put a pin in this. Let me come back to this. Um, Jackson and Caleb's back and forth over wearing the deceased people's clothes
yeah,
had me cackling. I was laughing at the idiocracy of this whole conversation because
yeah.
Jackson was pissed and Caleb was like, "Why you mad, bro?" I was like,
It's
and
so funny.
I was laughing so hard because he was like, "I didn't know I offended you that bad," and I'm like, "Why does that offend you so badly?" And but okay, I guess. And he's like, "I mean, you're not wearing Harry's whole outfit again." He was like, no, and then Sally's like, "Well, I am wearing Paula's shoes, but that's because they were purple and it matches my fit." And he's like, "I'm not even talking about you, girl. You good because you ain't wearing it. You ain't put a whole toothpick in your mouth and decide you want to come for my home, for the everybody." I, child. I was like, Jackson, you the one flipped on Harry. If you would have stayed with Harry, he still would have been there. If you would have stuck with the plan, he still would have been there. But now you mad because somebody else came as Harry. Child.
Yeah, I like it when they do the trash talking and just like I do think he had a point in that, like calling out that like Caleb went from being very calm and just going along, picked to be at the tribal council where Harry went, and then
Mhm.
going back and like, yeah, we're gonna get the rest of the returnees, yay!
Right. And then like Brooke
It's
and Mark like, I mean, but it's Caleb, so we're not worried about it. Like, honestly, I would have been like, yeah, he can go, mister. I want to get rid of the returnees. You can return your butt back home. I would have took him out next. That would have been me. But he's like, no, I'm not going for y'all. Like, oh no, just other returnees. Hello, what does that even mean? But okay,
yeah,
I just thought that conversation was
yeah,
hilarious. I cackled.
it
I
was.
laughed. It was so funny to me. It was
Yeah,
so funny to me. But
yeah,
circling back to this, after Simon decides he's going to give his idol to Rich because he no longer needs it, so Rich can have it. And I was like, this is so stupid because honestly, this just gave us, we know what was going to happen. But I'm going to be so honest here and say this. And yeah, like I said, I love Tez with my
yeah.
whole heart and soul. It didn't matter
No,
if Simon gave um, that necklace to Rich or not. It was always going to be Tez, unfortunately. It was
yeah.
always going to be
Oh,
Tez. I hate this so much.
yeah.
Oh, I hate it so much. But it was always going to be Tez. It did. Tez did not do themselves any favors in
No,
these last two episodes with the way he voted, how he acted, and from what they showed. But like I said, I don't believe for a second Tez didn't fight for his spot. But from what they showed us, it didn't look like he did. But I don't believe that. I believe he did, but
no,
I just don't believe he could have done anything to change this outcome because they
no,
were convinced and they were sure that if they went to tribal, it was going to be Tez. It was never going to be Caleb. And after the immunity challenge, it was never going to be Rich.
no, no. I think they try to give a little bit of hope, and it's like, oh, we have so many friends on the other tribe. They're like, they even want to give him an immunity necklace. That maybe, but Simon gave the necklace, and it was done.
It
done.
was done. It was done. Once that necklace went around Rich, it was done. Nobody else was voting for anybody else.
Yeah.
And even though Ted's tried was like, let's vote for
Yeah.
Caleb and Marcus, like, yeah, we can do that. It's done. I'm like, why would you say that? You're at tribal. He has nothing. You could have just been like, yeah, no. Sorry,
Yeah.
Blue. Let's go be you. And hope. But see, and here's the thing. If Mark would have been like, I mean, it's probably go be you. Even if
Yeah.
Ted's
No.
had an idol, he was voting for Caleb.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I think yeah, I think it would be Caleb. Like with I know that Tess asked Mark and Keely to talk
Mhm.
with them. And specific it's pretty obvious obviously that Faith is also part of that group, but Tess excluded Faith from that. So I
Cause
was like,
she don't like him, and
yeah,
he don't like her. Like it's like one of
yeah,
these things. Like I know you coming for me, and you know I'm
yeah,
coming for you. And not even I don't like, cause I don't. I'm sure they like each other. I think they're fine.
yeah,
But I think it's a you were coming for me, and I was coming for you. It's game respect
yeah.
game at this point. And so I'm not finna sit here and try to act like we are
It's
besties
a
or
war. No,
include you in our conversations.
no.
But unfortunately, Tess
Oh,
went with a 6-1 vote, which was very ugh.
yeah. And I do think it was nice that David had a bit of a talk with Tess before snuffing the torch.
Yeah, helped him
Like,
put the torch all the way down in the ground. Tess was like,
yeah,
"Here, up here." And they was like, "Let me help you." It was like,
yeah,
"Oh, poor Tess. Let me help you."
yeah,
Put that all the way in. Tess, you know we are devastated over here because
yeah,
Merge. You should have. Oh, so hoping you made Merge, but
yeah,
we love you. We get all our love. So sad. But you're welcome to come on the show and talk about your
yeah,
experience and the rest of the season with us if you like. If you can, don't
yeah,
get in trouble. If you can,
yeah.
feel free.
If the NDA allows it, but
If they allow it,
yeah,
then yes, yes.
yeah,
If they
well,
don't, if they don't, they don't.
no,
Let's do
no.
a quick draft update. Let's
Oh,
Brooke
Brooke,
has taken their third hit of this game thus far, and Brooke was not happy
no,
in our group chats. And yes, Brooke, I will mention that you thought this was complete BS, and I understand, and I agree with you on the BS. Where we disagree is we all know Tez was going to go regardless if Rich had that immunity necklace or
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, it's very Richard is that decoy name that keeps being thrown out to give everyone, viewers and people at camp, the idea that maybe it's something else. But it looks like Rich is better integrated than the edit wants to make us believe.
yeah. And even in this next episode, we see Rich is very much more integrated than they wanted us to see at first, but now it's very out in the open. Rich is very has integrated themselves into this tribe, and it's going to be interesting. But Team Brooke has lost their third member, joining Logan and losing three members. Jack and Ree have both. Well, Jack has lost two. Ree has lost one.
Mm.
And for in 9 episodes in, I have still not
Wow.
lost a single person. And I am very
Okay.
shocked by that. But I
Yeah.
know my time is coming very soon. I
Oh.
thought this week was going to be the I thought this today was going to be the day. I was very sure
Oh.
today was going to be the day I took my
Yeah.
first hit, but I did not. So but girl, my girl Aisha, Asha, they looking at you, girl. They looking at you.
Yeah. Oh, like really, I do think it would have been a more interesting vote had Baron gone to tribal council,
Yeah,
but it would have also been hurt probably just as much
yeah,
because of
yeah,
the two or three people that were on the block.
yeah. Would have been very interesting, but
Yeah.
it is what it is at this point
Yeah.
in time. So that's that, y'all. We Got through another week of Australian Survivor. We we need the editors and the production to be production needs to be more clearer on these rules about these idols, and editors, y'all need to edit it a little bit better so it's not so frustrating. Thank you. But other than that, Tez, we love you. We can't wait to talk to you, and you played a great game up until the last couple of episodes. You did.
Yeah.
You did. But well, that is going to do it for us. We are going to get out of here because we got more stuff to do and more content to make. Join us back here later on tonight. Well, not tonight because yeah, it will be tonight. And I'm trying to think. I thought about when are we going to put this recording out. It's going to go out today. But yeah, later on tonight when we talk Survivor 50, we're talking Survivor 50 right after the episode. So join us live here on the Cup TV where we're talking Survivor 50 in week 3 and what is going down over there because baby, it is good over there. If you are not watching Survivor 50, you're missing out because it's really good. It's really good
Yeah.
so far. So come check out Survivor 50 in our coverage. Join and we'll be talking about that. Follow, join us on all the other things that we're talking about here. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Follow, do all the things. Share. Send us some comments. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think about this season and everything. Um, Follow us on this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow Ree or myself if you like. Don't forget to get your merch at lanajscreations.etsy.com. Link in the description below, as well as the QR code at the right side of the screen. And that's going to do it for us. We got more content to make, so we're going to get out and go get ready for that. And you just stick around and watch more videos because we got more videos down there in our playlist and all over. So if you want to binge watch a certain show and you want to see what we thought about it, do that. That'll be fun. But we're going to get out of here. So till next time, cheers. Bye.